statements and claims of those who say chance existences about the countless beings created by Allah Ta'ala with explicit order and harmony are ignorant and contrary to positive science. For example, let us put 10 pebbles numbered from 1 to 10 in a bag. Let us then take them out of the bag one by one with our hand, trying to take them out successively. That is, number 1 first, number 2 second, and number 10 finally. If any pebble taken out does not follow this numerical order, all the pebbles taken out so far will be put back into the bag, in which you'll have to try again beginning with number 1 first. The probability of taking out 10 pebbles successively in numerical order is 1 in 10 billion. Therefore, since the probability of drawing 10 pebbles in numerical order is extremely weak, it is surely impossible that innumerable kinds of orders in the universe should have come into existence only by chance. If a person who does not know how to type presses on the keys of a typewriter, let's say 5 times at random, to what extent would it be possible for the resulting 5-letter word to express some meaning in English or any other language? If he wanted to type a sentence by pressing on the keys heedlessly, could he type a meaningful sentence? Now, if a page or a book were to be formed by pressing on the keys arbitrarily, could a person be called intelligent who expects the book or the page to have a certain topic by chance? Things cease to exist all the time, while other things come into being as a result of them. But according to the latest knowledge in chemistry, 105 elements do not cease to exist. Changes only take place in their electronic structure. Radioactive events have also shown that elements, and even their atoms, cease to exist, and that matter turns into energy. The German physicist Einstein even calculated the mathematical formula for this conversion. The fact that things and substances have been changing and issuing from one another continuously does not mean that existence itself comes from past eternity. That is, one cannot say, it will be as it has been so far. These changes do have a beginning. To say that the changes have a beginning means that the substances coming into being have a beginning, which in turn means that all of them have been created from nothing while nothing existed. If the substances were not first created out of nothing, and if their issuing from one another went far back into eternity, this universe would necessarily be non-existent now. The existence of the universe in the eternal past would require the pre-existence of other beings to bring it about, and those beings, in turn, would require others to pre-exist so that they could come into being. The existence of the latter is dependent upon the existence of the former. If the former does not exist, the latter will not exist. Eternity in the past means without a beginning. To say that something existed in the eternal past means that the first being, that is, the beginning, did not exist. If the first being did not exist, the latter beings could not exist, and consequently nothing could exist. In other words, there could not be a series of beings, each of which required the pre-existence of another for their own existence. Therefore, all of them would necessarily be non-existent. Hence, it has been understood that the present existence of the universe indicates that it has not existed since past eternity, and that there existed an original being which had been created out of nothing. In other words, we have to accept the fact that beings have been created out of nothing, and that today's beings are the result of a succession of beings coming from those first beings. The book Shar'i Mawaqif proves in detail in the first section of its 5th chapter that there is a creator who creates all classes of beings from nothing, that this creator should be eternal and should always exist, and that he should exist eternally without changing. Briefly, to change means to become something else. When the creator changes, he becomes something else. His creativeness gets deranged. As explained in the 3rd letter of the 3rd volume of the book Maktubat by Imam Rabbani, it is necessary that the creator will never change, and that he will always remain the same. Reasoning from what we have explained, the various classes of beings could not be eternal, and the unchanging creator must be eternal. He must exist everlastingly. Therefore, there is a creator who never changes and who is eternal. The name of this never-changing creator is Allah. Allah Ta'ala sent prophets to men in order to make himself known to them. A reasonable, understanding person who reads about the life, the superior qualities of Hadrat Muhammad, alayhi salam, who is his last and highest prophet, will at once realize that Allah Ta'ala exists and that Hadrat Muhammad is his prophet. He will eagerly become a Muslim. It is called having Iman, or belief, and being a Muslim, to believe that Allah Ta'ala exists, is one, and that Muhammad alayhi salam is his prophet and the most superior one of his prophets, and his every word is true and beneficial. A person who believes these facts is called a mu'min, a Muslim. The words of Muhammad alayhi salam are called hadith sharif. A person who does not believe any of those things clearly stated in the Quran al-Kareem and hadith sharifs is called a kafir. Those disbelievers who believe a history book written in ancient times by men as the words of Allah Ta'ala are called Ahli Kitab, that is, disbelievers with a book. Jews and Christians are disbelievers with a heavenly book. Those who prostrate themselves before a statue or grave of a man who is known by them as great and believe that he is able to do everything are called mushriks or idolaters. Brahmins, Buddhists, and Zoroastrians are in this group. Those who believe in none of the religions are called atheist and dahri. Communists and Freemasons and those who have fallen into their traps because they are religiously ignorant are in this group.